Joining me now for more on Obama's trip is Raed Jarrar, Communications Director at the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Is it significant to you that Obama did not go to Gaza? Do you feel that Palestinians are worried that their relationship with Obama could be changing?
It is very disappointing, especially that President Obama is marketing this trip as a listening trip, as a trip that he will go and hear people's concerns. We saw that he traveled around different places in Israel, talked to politicians and talked to students at the university. Unfortunately, it seems that he did not reach out to people in Gaza. Not only that, he actually attacked Palestinian factions in Gaza in his speech, demonized them, and even maybe deepened the divisions inside the Palestinian, or like the Palestinian divisions, which is something that we as an organization don't think that the U.S. should be adding more obstacles in the way of Palestinian unity. So we're not very happy about excluding Gaza and other Palestinians from the visit.
Why the change? Where did the change come? Because before, there was a sense of hope from the Palestinians, and now there's this trip to Israel that Obama makes, and it seems that the tide has changed a bit. When did that happen?
I think Palestinians are very frustrated. Today we saw two different protests. One that came from Palestinians who went to a piece of land that Israel wants to build more settlements on. And they want to send a message to President Obama that these settlements are destroying peace. Unfortunately, the president actually sent a message to the Palestinian leadership before his trip saying that a freeze of settlements will not be possible before restarting the peace talks. It's a very negative message to the Palestinian public. The other protest happened inside Israel. There is an Israeli-Palestinian student who interrupted Obama during his speech, and he asked him, he said, who killed Rachel Corrie, referring to an American peace activist who was killed by Israeli bulldozers in Gaza a decade ago. He asked Obama about where the U.S. tax money is going, funding Israeli weapons. Palestinians see the U.S. role as imbalanced. It's supporting Israel in an unconditional way, and it's picking on Palestinians in a way that is making the achievement of peace harder.
Well, let's go back to this visit that he had with the young Israeli students. You know, he is walking a tight line here during this trip to the Middle East. He's trying to appeal to both sides during this trip, but he's also trying to appeal on behalf of the Palestinians to that young Israeli crowd at the university. Did he do enough? Did he say enough on their behalf?
There were some things that were unprecedented, actually, that we heard today. For example, during his speech in Ramallah, President Obama asked for ending the occupation and the indignities that come with it on a daily basis. That was a historic call, and we're very happy to hear that. I think the message to the Israeli youth, who, by the way, happen to be even more conservative than the older generation in Israel, they have less openness to the idea of peace with a Palestinian state than the older generation. So it was a hard audience for him to approach. And I think the messages were very clear that the U.S. will try to pursue peace in the Middle East. Unfortunately, we've heard this before, though. We're hoping that this time will be different if actually Secretary Kerry would take solid steps to move the process further.
Okay, we'll have to see what happens. We'll leave it there, Raed Jarrar. Thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate your time.